Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to Stewart County, Tennessee and the town of Dover. We're getting ready to get started for our Blue Star Memorial Gold Star Families Highway dedication. And I want to take this time to welcome all of you here. Welcome to all of our special guests, our dignitaries, and thank you all for coming. This is the 5th dedication that we've had in Stewart County in the last 4 years. And a lot of work has gone into each one of them by so many people, and we'll try to thank as many people as we can. You know, we've had the William W. Morris dedication ceremony, the Petty Officer Rick L. Boyd Highway dedication ceremony, and thank you, Petty Officer Boyd, for being here today. We've had also the Gold Star Memorial, and now the Blue Star family, and the Blue Star Memorial and the Gold Star Families Highway dedication today. So this is the 5th one that we've had in 4 years, and we could not have gotten any of them done without the help from our state representative Bruce Griffey, our state senator Bill Powers. Thank you so much, and their representative Charlie Cooper, and thank you for bringing your wife today. Thank you guys. It's a lot of work that goes into it. That's right. Let's give them a hand. Every one of these has to go on the omnibus. Later on, Representative Griffey and Senator Powers have signed a proclamation, and they'll show that to you. But a lot of work goes into this. We've got some special recognition to John Ross and Melissa Ross of Old Man Lead, Chris and Erica Dowdy, Mission Barbecue, Charles and Annette Tenon, American Legion Post 72, Melissa Fields, District 5 Commissioner, the Tennessee Federation of Garden Clubs, the Stewart County Chamber of Commerce, Pepsi, and Mary Ann's Florist, and of course our staff that worked so hard to set this table up and set this event up. So thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you also on behalf of the town of Dover Mayor Lisa Fitzhugh. She couldn't be here today, but she sends her special welcome to everyone here. So thank you all. Ladies, at this time, we'll ask you to all rise for the presentation of the colors.
Present. Forward. Order. Forward. Left. Quick. Forward. March.
Can you sing by the dawn's early light? What so proudly real at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the red
given by United States Marine Corps veteran and Department of Tennessee VFW chaplain for the state and VFW chaplain of Post 12206, Andrew Farr.
Would you pray with me? Dear Lord, as we gather for this Blue Star and Gold Star Memorial dedication, give us the use of your gift of peace and understanding that we may approach the matters we must handle with sincere and just hearts. May you watch over and guide our tongues that we may not hurt our friends with whom we work for the betterment of our communities and our country. Keep us always true to the principles on which this country was founded. We ask this all in your name. Almighty God, the Father and God of our great nation, we beseech thee to give us the light and strength faithfully to uphold and defend our Constitution, to safeguard our principles of liberty and justice, to promote the cause of peace throughout the world, and to strengthen the bonds of friendship and mutual assistance among our fellow citizens. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. At this time, we're going to ask Ms. Denise Thorne, Federation Garden Club's president-elect, to come up and provide us greetings from the Tennessee Federation of Garden Clubs.
Thank you, Mayor. Greetings from the Tennessee Federation of Garden Clubs. We're proud to be a partner with the citizens of the town of Dover and Stewart County. Our thousands of members across this great state of Tennessee are divided into 4 districts: Memphis, Nashville, Chattanooga, and Knoxville. This is the District 2 Nashville district. We honor the Blue and Gold Star families today for our liberties we enjoy. This program is the most important project that the Garden Club supports. My 91-year-old father and son both served proudly in the U.S. Navy. Many here have family members who have given the ultimate sacrifice. We all know that freedom is not free. The veterans, the Tennessee Federation of Garden Clubs stand and salute you. May God grant us peace and safety from our enemies here and abroad. Let us never forget.
Thank you, Denise.
We also have greetings from our Tennessee Federation of Garden Clubs District 2 Director, Bobby Walcott. Thank you.
Welcome. My name is Bobby Walcott McCargo. I am District 2 Director, which has 43 garden clubs and 774 people. And we are proud to be a part of this. My father, Perry McCargo, was in World War II. He got 2 Purple Hearts. The last Purple Heart was when he was shot in the back and shot in his legs. They were not able to get the shrapnel out, or the bullets, so he was disabled. He was able to use his intellectual ability and the GI Bill to become a civil engineer, which didn't require a whole lot of physical work. He met my mother at the University of Arkansas when they were at school, and they had me. When I was a little girl, I always noticed that my daddy was bent over and he shuffled, and I never knew why. When I got a little bit older, he said, "I want to talk to you." He said, "Have you ever wondered what's wrong with me?" And that's a pretty hard conversation for a little girl. And he said, "I was in the war. Do you know why I was in the war?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Because I'm protecting the freedom for you and all the people that are going to come after you. I expect to be proud of you, and I do not ever want you to forget this. My daddy is now in heaven. He's in the Veterans Cemetery of Pegram. And I tell him I have not forgotten this. And I don't want y'all to forget what all the veterans past and future and present are doing for us. And also how hard it must be on some of the families. My daddy came home. Some of the families, daddies and mommies, did not come home. What can we do? These memorial markers, which are sponsored also by the National Garden Club, and as Denise said, I think one of the most important things we do. You can have teaching moments here. You can bring Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, little girls like Bobby Joe was, and you can tell them what that means. Sometimes that's not done in schools anymore. And they need to know what the sacrifices are and how it has enabled people like me and you to become successful. We live in some other countries. We may not have been able to accomplish everything we did. So I thank you for coming today, and Tennessee Federation of Garden Club thanks you too.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. You remind us that freedom's not free. There's a debt that has to be paid, and there's a debt that has been paid, and it's expected to be paid in the future. So thank you. Thank you, Bobby. I'd like to introduce some special guests today that have helped us all along the way, as we've mentioned. And we'll start out with our Tennessee 75th District State Representative, the Honorable Bruce Griffey.
Thank you, Mayor Brandon. I appreciate that. Thank you all for being here. It's been my honor and privilege to represent each and every one of you. I know Senator Powers and I are honored and privileged to represent you. We have General Tommy Baker here. We have the governor's office. I appreciate him being here. Mission Barbecue, thank you. The veterans organizations, thank you all for all you're doing. This is one of the honors we do get to do as elected officials, and it's our honor and privilege. And we recognize the sacrifice that our veterans have made to protect the liberties that we all enjoy, and how much the families have suffered for the sacrifices the veterans made, because it's not just the veterans, it's the families that also go to war every time we're to service. So with that, Senator Powers, you would like to make a comment before I read the proclamation, or you want to read it? Or?
You read it.
This is Public Chapter 1009, Senate Bill 1668 by Massey, Gardenhire, Watson, Gator, Howard, Sutherland, substitute for House Bill 1654 by Howard, Sherrill, Byrd, Love, Jernigan, Doggett, Todd, Miller, Sapicki, Camper, Williams, White, Moody, Hardaway, an act to amend Tennessee Code Annotated Title 54 relative to transportation infrastructure, being enacted by the General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, Section 30. Notwithstanding law to the contrary, the entire segment of U.S. Highway 79 within Stewart County, Tennessee is hereby designated the Gold Star Families Memorial Highway to honor the families of the courageous men and women who have lost their lives in service to their country, so that the people of this country may enjoy the many bounties of democracy. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say what an honor it is for me to be here today. I come down here for a lot of things, and in my mind, every one of them is important. I think that my Senate district, which is Montgomery County, Stewart County, and Houston County, I think it's probably, in my mind, it certainly is the most patriotic of districts there is within the state of Tennessee. We just do more of things such as this in my district than anywhere else. And that's a tribute to the people that live here, the people that want to see these things done. I've long said that it is not big cities where the military men and women come from. They all come from small towns. General Baker can tell you that. They all come because they have that feeling of they're just patriotic. They can't help it. And I was raised that way, growing up in and around Fort Campbell. Now I can tell you it was a little bit different back in the 60s when you used to have your choice. If you remember, if you got in trouble back in the 60s, you had a choice. You could go to jail or you could join the Army. And that's the way it was. For all you youngsters out there, that's the way it was. But I can tell you, I wish they'd do that today, because in my...
Hear.
In my graduating class, I saw 2 or 3 people, and I can tell you, they went into the Army as a punk, and they came back as a grown man, and they came back as a patriotic grown man. So all I can tell you is I am thrilled to be here today. You just can't do enough of this for your city, for your state, and for your country. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Powers.
Tell them that this, we won't be dedicating to Henry County, but this is going to run from Stewart County all the way to Huntington. It's already been approved. We did half of Henry County last year.
Come on, Charles.
We did half of Henry County last year. Went to the city limits, which has been already approved to the governor and this and that. So actually what you've got here, it's going to run from Montgomery County, which will be Stewart County side, all the way to the Paris Landing Bridge, will be the Gold Star Highway in Stewart County. Then when you go over the bridge, that's the David McWhirter Bridge, that is the Gold Star Family Memorial Highway up to the city limit. And we got it approved this year. It's going to go from the county all the way to Huntington. So what a stretch. So it's clearing both counties, and we're not through yet.
He's not through.
I'm not singing after this.
I want to mention something about Representative Griffey and Senator Powers. This is kind of bittersweet for us. They're both moving on. The Honorable Bruce Griffey is going to be a judge now in Henry County, and State Senator Bill Powers is moving into a different district with redistricting going on. So let's give them a big hand. This will be their last official conference. I'll tell you right now, these two gentlemen have really worked hard for Stewart County. And it shows by right here. And so I'm really proud that State Representative Jay Reedy is here tonight, because he's going to be our new representative in the newly redistricted 74th District of Stewart County. So, Mr. Reedy, would you like to come up and maybe say a few words? Thank you for coming, and the mantle has been passed to you, so you got a big job ahead of you. Thank you, sir.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and of course through redistricting. Yes, I moved in Montgomery County, and it's actually the Fort Campbell soldiers. They were in my house district, so I could count on their votes. But now I've been asked to speak. Charles and Ken have been great to work with you folks in my district. But let me share a moment in history with all of you. So it dates back to December 1985. Fort Campbell was activated with a multinational peacekeeping force in the Sinai Peninsula, Palestine, Israel. It was in that December, getting close to Christmas time, a lot of the 101st soldiers from the 3rd to 502nd was coming home. And hopefully you know where I'm going with this. There was a young captain on the station over there with the multinational force. And the plane started coming home, the time of tour is over, and this young sergeant, he was very thankful because this captain gave up his seat on the plane to come back early, which meant he missed that devastating flight of the loss of 248 soldiers in Gander, Newfoundland. Now the sad thing, and probably the only reason you know of Jay Reedy today, that Captain Joey McCarty was my stepfather. And so at the time I was stationed at Fort Pope, pardon me getting emotional, but as soon as Red Cross contacted my company commander and First Sergeant, I came to be with family. And yes, it was difficult times, but after that I asked for a compassionate reassignment and got my orders cut to show up at Fort Campbell. And when I got to Fort Campbell, they said, Specialist Reedy, where would you like to go? You've got a choice. And I said, the 3rd of the 502nd lost 248 soldiers. I would like to go there. What was really cool about it is getting to listening to my stepfather, what kind of officer he was, the service he gave to our country. But not only that, when I got here, my youngest brother was an ROTC at Austin Peay, and he said, Jay, with your prior service, if you get out of the Army, go to school with me in the ROTC program. In 2 years, we could get commissioned together. So I did. We did. I'm very proud of my commissioning class. 5 of the fellow cadets that I was with all become full-bird colonels and dedicated 133 years of service out of those 5 folks, excluding me, to the service of our country. So whenever I come to a road that says Gold Star Family, it means something. It really does. And I don't know if Charles knew about this story or not, but when we started in Clarksville on 149, coming all the way finally to Houston County with the Gold Star Family, these memorials mean something to somebody. And I hope that we never forget those who have lost loved ones in the cause of freedom and liberty in the United States of America. God bless the USA. Thank you.
Thank you, State Representative Jay Reedy. Thank you. We also have some dignitaries in the attendance. U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty, Field Representative Stan Settles is here. Thank you, Stan, for coming. Thank you. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. He's the Commissioner of the Tennessee Department of Veterans Services, Commissioner General Tommy H. Baker.
Thank you, Mayor Brandon. Wow, I was just kind of reflecting over there. One of the first duties I got to perform as the Commissioner of Veterans Services in that office was to come to a Gold Star dedication. I mind my dedication here. Seemed like it was just about 14, 15 months ago. And I remember that day very vividly. I got to meet some Gold Star families. I got to meet Charles and Annette Tennant. I got to meet Representative Griffey. I don't know what Representative Reedy, if he was here that day or not. I can't remember. Senator Powers, I think he was here. Just started realizing just how committed Stewart County was to those who had worn the cloth of our nation. Now I'm back 15 months later. We're doing a Blue Star Memorial monument out there, dedication here today. It speaks to the fabric of this society. I know just up the road is Fort Campbell. Jay was talking about all the things in his family, and I can tell you that, you know, about 80% of your all-volunteer force now has someone in their family that's legacy. You know, it's an aunt, an uncle, a brother, a grandfather, a grandmother, somebody that wore the cloth. And, you know, in many ways it's become the family business because they come from, you know, just little towns, big cities, but just the flower of the country of this nation. And they want to serve. They more than willingly sign that blank check that says, hey, this is payable to the American people. We all go into service, hoping that check never fully gets cashed, but we have to sign that check, and it's blank. And it could mean everything. As our Gold Star families well know, it could mean everything. So I just want to say thank you today for being here and supporting, making sure that our Gold Star families, that the sacrifice their loved one made never is forgotten. And now we're going to add this Blue Star Memorial. And, a couple of weeks ago, the governor and first lady had a group of serving military families that came to the residence during Nashville for a picnic. They had the bouncy house, they had the kids, and I was looking at that group of soldiers and their spouses and their families, and thinking about all the services that's went on for over 240 years in our nation, but especially the last 20 and 25 years since 9/11, and just the op-tempo, families being constantly deployed and family members gone, and all the sleepless nights that go with that. I was thinking, I know for myself, 2 deployments, you don't want to get out the door till the washing machine breaks or the lawnmower breaks, and you're trying to focus on the mission, which you should be focused on, but guess what? The family still has to move on. They still got to do the day-to-day life stuff. They got to get the kids to school. They got to get them to ball practice. All of those things that have to happen. But now it's only the spouse left to do that. And hopefully they have a support group around them. And that's why it's so key for a community like this to rally behind their service members. But I told them, and I'll say it today, I get to travel in this job as the chief advocate for veterans in our state for the governor. I get to travel all over the state. I mean, I've been to Irwin, Tennessee. The next stop is North Carolina when you get to Irwin. And I've been to all places in between. And I can tell you that the love, the patriotism, and the support for our veterans is palpable. I mean, it is tangible. You go in these communities and you see how much they care. It's everything from the VFWs, American Legions, the DOD, the Federation Garden Club, who's here today, to, like businessmen that show up and say, hey, who's a veteran in this community that needs a new roof? I want to donate a new roof. I've seen that happen twice in the last 20 months. People that just give of themselves. And I just, I'm very fortunate to live in the state of Tennessee, be a volunteer, and to realize what that means, not only through our tradition and our history, but to see each day my job. I really don't think it's a job. Many times I just think, I can't believe I'm actually getting paid to do this. It's more of a ministry group, to be honest, because I just get to meet great people all over the state and hear their story and find out what's going on in their lives and what they've done. Many times, ultimate sacrifice that their loved one has made, and you just get to hear that and know that what you do matters. So today, thank you for having me. It's always great to get to come see an event like this and to meet different people in the community. But it's also what charges my battery. Because sitting in the office looking at paperwork sometimes is not the most fun thing you can do. But coming out and meeting our veterans, their families, and the support group that's around them, that's the part that really motivates me. So thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you for what you do, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. At this time, I'd like to ask Denise Thorne to come up and give us a history of the Blue Star Marker program.
I think you mean Pamela Dodd.
Pamela, I'm sorry. Pamela Dowd, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'll swap with your niece. She's probably more than 10 years younger than I am. I don't know. I'd love to swap ages with her. Good afternoon, everyone. It's so nice to be back in Dover. I had to remember as I was driving through, yes, the Welcome Center is on the other side of town. And I'm going real slow on the west side looking for the Welcome Center. So I got here 2 minutes after 1, and I do apologize. I've never been late to a dedication in my life, but there's always a first. I am so happy to see that Mayor Brandon put the history of the program in your program, so you can go home and read about it tonight. And he put the history of the Blue Star banner. I bring 2 little banners along with me so you can see what they look like. I know most of you know, but I want to take you back a couple of months ago when our own Woody Williams was at the Capitol. His remains were honored at our Capitol, and they were showing different tapes of some interviews from him, and they were showing one of 2018. And the little man, he was very short in stature. He was sitting there, and he had a Blue Star banner in one hand and a Gold Star banner in the other. And he didn't treat one any differently, although he has that wonderful, great, big, beautiful Gold Star memorial. Ours is smaller, but ours is just as important. And he was talking about those. So I brought my sample banners along for you to see. Blue, gold. And this is by the Department of Defense. They sponsored it. It was approved by Congress in 1933. It's all in your history here. I'll repeat a little bit of the history. There was a General Cuisinart from the Mexican border war of 1916. He had 2 sons serving in World War I. He was retired. He was from Ohio. And he wanted to honor his sons. So he is credited with designing the Blue Star banner. He gets all the credit. And they used the banner during World War I. And then you go on up to 1933 was when Congress finally authorized it as being the official banner. And I bring it along because that's where the National Garden Club got the name of its program, the Blue Star and Gold Star Families Memorial Marker Program. And I want to start with how that started. There's a garden club, state garden club in every state. And the New Jersey Council of Garden Clubs, it was called then, excuse me, decided in 1944 that they wanted to do something for our servicemen who were starting to come back from World War II. Wasn't over yet, but they were coming home. And they met with the legislature. As you did today, they designated a Blue Star Highway. It was a 5-mile stretch. And along that stretch, the Garden Club decided they would rather have a living memorial than monuments. So they planted 8,000 dogwood trees. Then, this was 44. They took this to the National Convention in 1945, and everyone thought, wonderful. But how many times can you plant a dogwood tree, even in the desert or wherever you have a Blue Star Highway, and expect it to live? They had a vision of a grid work, horizontal, vertical dogwoods all across the country, and wouldn't that be beautiful? So in 1947, they said, maybe we better mark these highways some other way. And our president at the time, her name was Mrs. Kellogg, designed our first marker. And the marker that you're dedicating today still looks similar to that one. It's changed somewhat. The first markers did say World War II, but they no longer say that. They changed it to encompass before, present, and future. So that was in 1943 when Congress made this our official banner. 1945, we adopted our Blue Star program. Of course, then it was just Blue Star program. Gold Star came along much later. That was 1947. By 1951, we decided we needed to include all men and women who have served, are serving, and will serve, past, present, future, in the armed forces of the United States. And the wording is a tribute to the armed forces who have defended the United States of America. In 1981, we made a smaller marker because there was a need to have markers in parks and courthouse lawns, even churches, wherever National Garden Club approved having a marker. So they made a smaller marker, and the wording was a tribute to the Armed Forces of America because it was much smaller. And then in '96, they decided, you know, we need to get these markers on courthouse lawns, veteran cemeteries, state cemeteries, wherever. We need to get rid of the word highway. So we still have highway markers. In fact, we ordered one not long ago, but they changed the word. It's just the same marker except it says memorial instead of highway. Yours here says memorial. Then in 1915, we came along a little later. We had a convention in Louisville, and they voted the Gold Star Families organization, which is also a 501c3 charitable organization. They work with the families as far as hope, healing, mental health, and that sort of thing. They're there to support them for that because they've lost a loved one. They came along and they wanted to join our Blue Star program. Well, we had a big debate, but I'm so glad that it passed, and the Gold Star Families Memorial Markers are an adjunct program of our Blue Star Memorial Program. You got the first one here was a Gold Star. Charles and Annette Tennant donated the funds for that, and it is sponsored by the Tennessee Federation of Garden Clubs, District 2, which Bobby told you we're in District 2. We're the largest district. We have 4 districts in Tennessee. We have more clubs in District 2. We think we're the best, but you know, we're all good. Anyway, you have the Gold Star marker first, and today you're going to dedicate your Blue Star marker. And of course, the Gold Star says a tribute to Gold Star families whose loved one paid the ultimate price in defending the United States of America. And I wanted to put this quote in. I always use it because it's so important. Calvin Coolidge, who's not a well-known president, but he said, "A nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten." And how true is that? We never want to forget our veterans. We never want to forget our Gold Star families. How many veterans are here today? You've probably been asked that question. Thank you all for your service. You've helped Bob to make us free, and we appreciate you deeply. How many Gold Star family members are here? And we thank you for your sacrifice. I tend to ramble and to say what comes into my head, but I do want to give you a few figures because some of you are wondering, well, where are these Blue Star markers and where are these Gold Star markers? If you travel a lot, stop at your welcome centers and look, we're replacing one. Well, we're having it refurbished. The one at the largest, busiest welcome center in Tennessee is I-40. You can enter it from east, you can enter it from west. So they get westbound, eastbound travelers. We replaced the marker in 2011. It's thin, it looks awful. So I stop and check these markers as I travel around the state. Reported at our district meeting, Bobby let me have the floor for about 5 or 6 minutes instead of my regular 2. And we raised over $1,000 that day to recondition our marker. And we're waiting because they're backed up at our factory. We've had the same factory since 1947, has been doing these markers. It's located in Ohio, called CY Studios. It's been doing these markers all these years. They go up every once in a while. Your Gold Star marker was, I believe, $300 less than, no, you you ordered your Blue Star before the price went up. So you both said, so they say $300 anyway. So anyway, I wanted to give you a few figures that you might be interested in. Tennessee has 96 markers, gold and blue. We actually have 97 because we found one that had been lost. And they're going to order a new one. In fact, I got an email from her today, and they're going to put the old one in their museum down in Columbia, Tennessee. Let's see, 95 for the state, so we have 96 in the state. Nationally, these markers are on the continental United States, Alaska, and Hawaii. Well, both Alaska and Hawaii have one each. The reports are given yearly. The May 2022 report, the count of markers went down during COVID, but we still have a total of, on the May 31, 2022 report, 3,314 markers. And the Gold Star family markers, we have 126. We're going to have one more in Chattanooga this fall. It will be at the National Cemetery, and then we'll have a Blue Star at the new Veterans facility in Cleveland, Tennessee. Thank you all. I wanted to thank John Ross especially because after the Gold Star marker dedication here, and it was May the 20th, 2021, I think, 19th or 20th, so that was a year ago. They ordered it, and it came in, the Blue Star came in and was put in October. But because of winter and other things that happened, we're just now dedicating it in July. And John Ross met me on the steps out there. He says, I want to get a Blue Star marker here. I said, you have my permission. I'll okay it. At that time, I was the national chairman. But I've been demoted. Anyway, I said, you have my permission. I gave him my information. He contacted me, and he and his wife, I can't remember his wife's name. John, are you here today? Melissa, of course, I corresponded with Melissa. They headed up raising the money, and I'm so glad you have the money. It's a beautiful marker. You'll see it when it's unveiled. And I'm so glad you decided to have the dedication inside. Mayor Brandon, thank you all. Thank you for coming. God bless you. God bless our veterans. God bless our Gold Star families. And God bless America.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Pam mentioned that we do have some Gold Star families in the audience, and we'd like to pay tribute to them right now. Brian and April McCaskill are here representing their son, Private First Class Joshua McCaskill. Sheila Patton is here representing her son, Staff Sergeant James Patton. And Gretchen Cakerwood is here representing her son, Lance Corporal Alec Cakerwood. Thank all your families. Thank you. We're going to deviate just a little bit from the schedule right now, folks. We do have unveiling of the marker. We're going to wait to the very end. As we go outside, we'll unveil the marker and place the tribute of flowers there at that time. Right now, we'll ask Sheila Patton to come up, though, and dedicate the marker.
You have all three counties represented.
She's bringing April and Gretchen
I am.
up with her. Thank you,
I
Sheila.
am.
Thank you.
We represent all three counties.
Great.
So, yes, so I represent Montgomery County. April represents Stewart County, and I represent Henry County. So thank you on behalf of all of us for dedication of the marker and the highway. We appreciate everybody coming. Thank you. Yes, thank you all.
Thank you guys on behalf of your three counties and the Federation of Garden Clubs. I accept this on behalf of Stewart County, so thank you very much. Thank you. Melissa, at this time, we'll ask you to come up and sing a song for us. The one that you played earlier?
Yeah. If tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause this flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died to bring that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you, Commissioner. Please be seated. I'd like to ask Teresa Bray to come up and to explain to us about the tribute of flowers. Teresa?
We will do this outside, but you will give us a little explanation now.
Thank you guys so much for coming today. These dedications are very special. Personally for me, very special for my garden club in Clarksville, Tennessee, very special, and for the Tennessee Federation of Garden Clubs. This is one of my favorite things that we do. Today, we're going to lay a wreath for the Blue Star Memorial families. The wreaths are beautiful, by the way. You'll see them when we go outside. And also, we're going to lay a wreath for the Gold Star Memorial Highway families. Can't even begin to express the gratitude for all of our service members, past, present, and the future, and all of the families whose family members paid the ultimate price. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless the USA. Thanks.
And I do remind you, after we retrieve the colors, we will all go outside, unveil the marker, and place the tribute of flowers, and then that will be the end of the ceremony, so thank you. At this time, we'll ask Andrew Farr to come back up and to give the benediction and the blessing of the Gold Star Family Highway.
Thank you, Mayor. Please stand. Let us pause this moment, and each of us, in the faith of his or her own heart, may hallow the memory of those, our fallen comrades, who made the supreme sacrifice and gave their lives on the altar of patriotism to a great and grateful America. God of all consolation and all mercy, may those comrades ever sleep in the bosom of thy love, and do thou bless us and our loved ones, our comrades, and our fellow man and woman everywhere, now and forever. A special blessing to the Gold Star and Blue Star families. On this solemn day of remembrance, we hold these families in our hearts. Remember them in our prayers. Support them in our words and deeds, and join them in honoring their heroes' ultimate sacrifice. May God provide them continued strength, comfort, and care. May God bless the United States of America. Amen. Amen.
At this time, the American Legion will ask them to perform taps. Thank you to the American Legion Color Guard for retrieving the colors and for performing taps. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I want you everybody to be careful. It's a little bit tricky outside. There's a little bit of a slope and a curve. Just be very careful. At this time, we'll ask everyone to go outside. Charles, do you have anything?
Yeah, I want to thank John Hurd and American Legion up here for helping on this project on the Gold Star Highway. John Hurd and American Legion helped me on this project at the Gold Star Highway, and I owe them that much respect. And I want you to know who the background, they was in the background. They don't say much about it, but they're the ones that helped put this together.
Thank you, Charles. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, time we'll follow outside, we'll unveil the marker and place the tribute of flowers to the marker. So thank you all. Be very careful, and thank you all for coming. Thank you.
I heard you say you got the newspaper here.
Yep, good.
Here's a picture. You guys get in.
You get in there. I was like, yeah,
Who's taking the picture? I don't know. I think a bunch of people.
Everybody is.
So let me know when you're ready. Tim, you might want to get around here. Sorry. Can you get a picture, okay?
I can get a picture perfectly.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Yeah, you
All right.
Come on.
Hey, before people leave, we have lots of cake inside. I'm not shy. I will be happy to go cut it if y'all want some to go. So, we're good?
April and Gretchen? Yep.
Good luck and good luck. Try to help guys like you get stuff done, you know. I don't take no. I just like to get something done. Yeah, get it done. There's no better cause than that right there.
Thank you all for being here.
Come on, Bruce, Bill, come on up, guys. One more picture with the
There you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.